Okay, now we're ready to go for real.
Oh, you got it.
What's today? Thursday?
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having
All
fun.
day.
It lets me see all the gray hair I've got.
And we're recording right there. All right. So when we left off last time, I basically just talked for 3 straight hours about percentages and fractions and decimals, and I don't have a marker. Bam! It's good.
I was gonna supersize this. I ain't know it was that big.
Okay. So now I have a
That
marker.
lasts me all day.
Last time, we went over how to change a fraction into a decimal. Anyone remember how to change a fraction into a decimal?
A fraction into
Say that all.
Top divided by bottom.
Top divided by bottom. Yes. Yeah, I'll put that up there. Fraction to decimal is
Is we gonna learn how to convert?
top divided by bottom.
Chris,
What's that?
so we gonna do the converting part of this?
Yes, we are. We're going to do that today. It's one of the first things we're going to do. We also learned how to change a percent to a decimal, right? That was a tiny bit harder. Anyone remember how to do that?
You drop the percent and put a decimal.
There's going to be a decimal. There's going to be a
Places to
percent.
the right or the
No, don't move the decimal point.
percentage.
So if we have a percentage, there's 55%.
You have to multiply.
Getting warmer. It's on the paper. You don't have to guess. You can,
That's what it say, multiplication.
5 over 100.
oh, say that again.
What do you say?
5 over 100.
55. Yes, a percent is actually a fraction of 100.
Oh, that's what
And we
it
already know how to change a fraction. Now we have a fraction we can do something with, right? Top divided by bottom. And we'll come up with an answer, 0.55. The other thing, so we did this, right? The other thing we did was we looked at making a fraction from like a real situation. Once again, in this class, here's real fractions. How many people are we supposed to have in this class?
15?
15. 15 is the whole thing you're dealing with? 15 is the whole thing. How many people are actually here? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 10?
That's what I said when I came in with the rest
Rough. Okay. Here's the fraction of the class that's actually here. The top is how many you're dealing with. The bottom is how many. No, the whole thing. Whole thing. Number we're dealing with.
I look at this plan that he gave us. This.
And that's from the previous time, the problem solving steps. Those will come in handy again soon. What we didn't cover yet, and I hope you had your handouts for last time, because I don't have mine.
Finding a number. I think that's the last part.
See, the thing that we didn't, there are actually a couple things we didn't cover. Let's see if anybody has
The
that.
back part said we figured we didn't.
I want the other handout. The double-sided handout.
This one.
Susan found it. May I borrow this page?
Go ahead.
Okay. It's a handout. It's a 2-sided handout. On one side at the top it says fractions to decimals.
Oh,
And on
this
the
one's
other
in here.
side at the top it says finding percentage of a number.
We didn't have to do this?
We will go back to that handout, Tina.
No, I'm talking about this whole page. That's what we did.
No, that's the one we didn't quite finish. We didn't do the bottom half of this. The bottom half, there's a heading that says decimals 2% and fractions 2%. And we skipped over this earlier because I felt like we had bigger fish to fry. You're on the right page, and your thumb is on the right section. Decimals to percent and fractions to percent. Here's yours back. We're going to go over that bottom part. Yes, you got the right one. Yes, you got the right one. Just tell me your mailbox. You're all putting it. Oh, yes?
Yep, got it.
And if it's not, I'll apologize. We'll make a copy.
Please make a copy of it.
Ah, yes, that's the one.
Rather than.
That's the one.
That's
I bet.
what it is.
Cheryl, do you want to snag someone to make some extra copies of your copy? Who wants to give theirs away for just a minute? Tina can't get rid of it fast enough. Maybe make 3 or 4 just so we make sure everybody gets one. So, the other thing we did also last time find fractions of a number, right? Like 5/10 of 50. And we remember that bar in the middle means divide. So that's 5 divided by 10. Anyone remember what of means? Multiply or times.
I think I have it here.
So 5/10 of 50, we could write right out like that. You have it now? That's it, yep.
Yeah.
And we also looked at a percentage of a number. So if you have 20% of 400, now 20% is a fraction, right? A fraction out of how much?
100?
100. You said 400? It sounded like you said 100.
100.
Every percentage is a fraction of 100. Percent. A centipede has 100 legs. There are 100 cents in a dollar. That word cent means something. Percent. So that's the same as saying 20/100ths of 400. And then we can follow that same process. 20 divided by 100 times 400.
50 even 25.
I have no idea how much that is. It's 80. Okay. If you type that out on the calculator, you should find it's 80. The thing that we skipped over last time is changing. See, we went one way, right? We went fractions to decimals and percents to decimals. What if we want to change things into percents? What if we want to go back the other direction? I'm going to erase the corner of this board. I'll erase the whole top half. Oops. That's okay. So what if we...
What is that, a 9?
This is a percent sign.
Percent.
Percent of a number. So what if, let's take this example, 10/15ths. 10/15ths of our class is here today. If I go to Janet and say, Janet, 10/15ths of the class is here today, she's going to say, what? She's going to say, maybe Daryl should be teaching the class. Because you're not even speaking English to me. Taking 10/15ths and changing it into a percentage, though, I can say percentages to Janet. I can say percentages to people out in the world. And you'll hear that. You'll hear how, if you ever listen to the news, you'll say that you'll hear that the homicide rate dropped 7%, or that the stock market is up 1%, or that mortgage interest rates are at 4.5%. You hear things about percents actually fairly often, but less often with weird fractions. So how do we change it? First, let's change it into a decimal. How do I change a fraction to a decimal?
10.15.
To the larger number.
No multiplying.
I mean, divide to the larger number.
Let's not worry about which is larger. Because sometimes the top one's actually the larger one. But we're going to divide top divided by the bottom.
That's what I said.
Can someone do that on the calculator and tell me what you get, 10 divided by 15?
You're gonna get 1 and 6 times.
I think you might have hit minus instead of
0.6.
divide.
0.6.
Just 0.6, huh? You sure it's not 0.6, 6, 6, 6, 6? I'm going to round that off to 0.67. I don't want to say 0.6. 0.6 is nowhere near as big. Would you take 60 cents?
0.67?
Would you take 60 cents if someone owed you 67?
Wait a minute, you saying 0.67?
That's where I'm going to round it off. The calculator was saying this.
10, 6.
Yes, that's what it said.
And
Yeah.
7. And a 7 at the end.
And then the calculator eventually gives you a 7 because it gets tired of putting 6s. But I can round this off too.
So 67.
I'm going to round this off to just 0.67. And remember, that point means something. To change a
Oh,
percentage
57 cents.
into a decimal, we divide by 100, right? What do you think we have to do to go back the other way to change the decimal back to a percent?
Just drop the decimal, make it 10.10 over.
Multiply
57 times 10.
times 10? We can do better than that. 100, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Multiplication and division are opposites, right? So if we're going to go from a percent to a decimal, we divide. To go back the other way, from a decimal to a percent, we'll multiply by 100. Which gives us 67, and now we can put a little percent sign on it. So I can say, Janet, 67% of the class was here today. That's a D+. plus.
A deep one.
That's not very good. 67%. If you got a 67% on my skills preview on the first day of class, good for you, that's fantastic. 67% attendance, I don't know. And I'm talking to you. Not you, Ronald. I'm pointing behind you at the camera. Because I'm recording this for the people who aren't here.
Okay.
So get in here and make this percentage bigger. Got it? All right. Thanks for laughing. I'm going to get rid of this, and I want to do a couple more of these guys.
Oh, Lord.
I wonder what Charlie does with all the other markers in this room.
You don't use markers.
Okay, let's take another fraction and change it into a percent. Someone yell out a fraction for me.
30 over 15.
30 over 15. All right. Oh, boy, I like the way you think. 30 over 15. Now, this is a weird fraction you picked. Because this is saying there's 15 parts in the whole thing. But we have 30 of them. That would be like if 30 people showed up for this class. And weirder things have happened. You could have more than a whole in your fraction. You say Citizens Bank Park holds 47,000 people, but you have 49,000 people show up for a baseball game. Guess what? You're in a fraction where the top number is actually bigger. Standing room only. Okay. Top number divided by the bottom number. Anyone want to type that into the calculator?
20?
You're going to love the answer. It gives you 30 divided by 15.
I got 2.
2.
Yeah, I got that too.
All right. How do we change that into a percent?
1%.
It's the same as before.
32.
2 over 100.
Times 100.
300.
Oh, 2 times.
200%.
2 times 100.
Whatever is here, after you divide whatever is here, you multiply it by 100. And it's going to tell you 200%. So when Janet says, how big a raise do you want? I'll say, Janet, 200%.
Oh, yeah, right. You ain't ever got it.
You think she would react poorly to
No,
that?
she gonna get somebody that she don't have to give as much to.
Okay, Shandell, give me another fraction. I don't care what it is. 19 over 27?
19 over 27.
Okay. This is a great example too because nobody talks like that. Nobody says we have a 1927 success rate. Right? Nobody says that I got 19/27 of my quiz right. People don't talk like that. Well, let's change it into a percentage and see how we do. What's my first step?
19
Uh-huh.
over 100.
Not over 100.
Over 27.
Okay.
Divided by 27.
19 divided by 27. I have no idea what that is, so clickety-clack on those calculators and let me know.
I think it's 0.7 and then 0.703.
I hear 0.703.
Yep, that's what it gave.
0.703. Does it keep on going after that?
Yes. 703,
0.703.
703,
Last is 7.
37.
Okay, so that goes on forever. 703, 703.
Yep.
There's my other eraser. Good, I like this one better. I don't like a decimal that's quite this long, so I am going to round it off. How about I catch it right there? Because that was a little zero.
703.
How about 0.7037? I'll
That
stop
makes
right here.
sense.
You don't like that one? Want me to round it off more?
No, you got 703.7.
Yeah,
That ain't no number though, is it?
sure it is. It's a wacky number, but it's a
Yeah.
number.
If you round it off, it would be to 704.
How about that? How
Yeah.
about 0.704?
Yeah, that sound more like it.
Okay, we can do that. That's fine with me. Either one. If you wanted to, we could even round it up to 0.70 if you really want. But let's stop there. What's my next step to change this decimal now into a percentage?
Times.
Just take the 704 and put a percent on it.
Times 100.
We're just gonna give you that.
What happens if you multiply 0.704 times 100?
A lot of stuff.
You get a lot of stuff. That's what he said. I'm stupid.
0.704 times 100.
70.4.
704.
I
Susan
just said that,
says
704%. That's what I've been saying.
not 704%,
What is it?
70.4.
70.4%.
4%. That's what I said.
So
at the beginning.
if you would take a quiz, with 27 questions, you get 19 right, 70.4%. You get yourself a C minus.
No, I want an A.
You want an A? Okay, let's do one where you get an A. How many questions are on a quiz? Carmen, how many questions do we have on a quiz?
20. It's 20.
Sure, whatever. You want 20 questions on the quiz? All right. 20 questions on the quiz. And Tina, you said you wanted an A, right?
Right.
Okay. Do you want just like an A minus?
A plus.
A plus? Woo! Okay.
Yeah, I want to see how that one
He
goes.
wants 100.
Well, guess what? To get an A plus, you got to do this. You have to get all 20 right.
20 over 20? Okay.
We can do that. Let's take 20 over 20 and change that into a percentage. What do we do to take this fraction and decimal?
20 over 20 divided by 20.
20 divided by 20. Type that into your calculator and I think you'll say
1.
1. Well, that's stupid, but that's right. Equals 1. And how do we change it into a percentage?
Times
Times
100.
100.
Times 100. So what's our grade on that test?
100.
100.
100%.
Oh, that was simple. Okay, I liked that one.
20 over 20 is 100%. Here, I'm going to get rid of the top. I'll do another one. Okay, let's say on that quiz, let's say we're not getting an A plus. Maybe we get one wrong. We're still pretty smart.
Okay,
Not
I'll fail the
perfect.
whole test.
What's that?
None.
She made a short joke, of course.
19 over 20, how do I change that into a decimal?
19 over 100.
Not 100, not
Wait a
yet.
mined
19
divided by 20.
20.
Yes, top divided by
100. Times 100.
And Ed is cutting to the chase. Hey, Chase, I just cut to the chase. This thing times 100. Oh, excuse me.
0.95.
0.95. Ed says times 100,
Equal 95.
95%. Be
Actually-
careful and don't just jump to doing this times 100 in your head, especially when you have something like this one.
Yeah.
This was one where doing that in your head, you might mess it up.
Actually, this is like doing algebra. This is like doing algebra, but we only use the numbers.
It's an excellent.
Thank goodness we have numbers in it though, huh?
It's easier with the numbers.
Let's do one more of these.
Wait,
Okay.
don't erase that one down there.
Okay, well, I'm going to squeeze a new one right in the middle here.
Okay.
Rhonda, as long as you're here, give me a number.
A top and bottom?
Sure, you give me both.
Okay.
Fraction.
14 over 27.
We really love that 27 today, huh? 14.
What you say? He said you done that 27.
Okay. So, in the town my sister and her husband live in, every single thing in their town is decided at a town hall meeting. Anytime they have to vote on something, whoever shows up at the town hall meeting gets to vote. It's not like they just have a mayor who makes a decision. They don't have a town council. It's the people of the town. It's a very tiny town. Anybody who shows up can vote. And typically, a small number of people actually show up. In a town with 500 or 600 people, maybe 24, maybe 27 people show up to actually vote for something.
14 divided by
So
27.
let's say they're proposing that they're putting in a new traffic light near the supermarket. This was a true story. Proposing to put a new traffic light by the supermarket. And of the 27 people in the town, 14 of them said, no, we don't want a stupid traffic light that will cost us all that money. Even if it'll save a
wanna
few
kill
lives, we don't want
They
it.
want to kill themselves instead.
So, what percentage of the people at the town council meeting said, no, we don't want a traffic
14%.
light? How do we change that fraction over to
14 divided by 27.
Yeah, top divided
I
by
got
bottom.
0.518.
5.
518
Okay,
times 100
times 100, great.
is 51.8%.
51.8%. So 51.8%.
More than half.
More than half of the people said we don't want
Wow.
a traffic light.
So them 14 people lost.
So guess what? Currently, still in my sister's town, there are no traffic lights. It's a small town. Let me go off on a quick rant here about voting. You don't have to actually raise your hand, but I bet if I said, who in this room goes out and votes every election day, I bet some of you, Rhonda says yes, every election day. I bet some of you say, nah, only if it's a big deal. And some of you probably say, nah, not at all.
No big deal.
Here's what I would say. When it's a little deal, when it's not a presidential election, that's when I like voting the most. Because when nobody shows up to vote, and I vote, my vote counts so much. When my sister and her husband showed up and they said, no, we don't want a traffic light, because they showed up, they won the vote. And their town still has no traffic lights. Yes?
A lot of times, when you go on those times when there's not much going on, there's a bill that you need to say, yes,
Yeah.
or no.
Yeah, you'll see weird things. Sometimes there'll be a Philadelphia referendum. It'll say, shall the city of Philadelphia borrow $9 million to upgrade these 3 schools? And if one of those schools is a school that your kids go to, well, let's say yes.
I would say yes with a heartbeat.
Well, anytime I see borrow $9 million, I pause for a minute to say, wait a minute. What's the interest rate? When do we have to pay it back?
Right.
Yeah, right.
But typically funding education is a good idea.
No, it is. How many
Okay.
years it is? It could.
I'll leave that up there for now. So here's what would like you to do. That exercise from last time, you had to change a whole bunch of things into fractions, right? You had the exercise where it said you had like 5 pieces of a 16-slice pizza, or $15 of a $60 allowance, things like that.
Oh, I did that already.
You already gave us the
And
fractions.
the following
Yeah.
amounts is fractions, then convert to the fractions.
I didn't, he said don't convert it, that's why I didn't convert it.
Now I want to do the second part. Now I want to convert them. So I want you to say, I already have the fractions.
I do.
You already have these, right?
Yeah, I had a fraction.
Fractions. I would like you to take those fractions, divide the top by the bottom, multiply by 100,
Oh, that's how you convert it, that's
to
right.
change them all into percentages. Yeah, that's how we convert
So
them.
actually, he already showed
And
us.
now I want you to do that. So find that exercise and
Is it the paper that we had today? The one thing when we
it's the one, it's not that one. It's another one from last time. It's that one.
This one? Oh,
So you're going to take all those fractions and change them to percentages.
okay.
No, this one right here. This one we gave us last week.
And by the way, now we have more than 10 15ths in the class here.
Which
Yeah.
one is divide though?
12 15ths. What's that?
This one?
Oh, which one is divide?
He on here.
The slash. They use the slash for division and the star for multiplication.
This chart.
No, it's this one.
It's this one. Keep going. It's, here we go. That's it. So you have the fractions already?
You just gotta convert them.
Convert them back. So we get to do the conversion.
We already did it.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what I forgot? I forgot to stop the recording. We don't need to record 20 minutes a day.